Hopefully. Whoops. Alright. Oh, this music is loud. Hold up. It's a little bit better. I think that's good. Aha. Okay. Starting a new stream. So I skipped a day of streaming, but I did work on my game yesterday, but still played a crap ton of games instead. Did a bunch of Baldur's Gate with a friend and my girlfriend. Right, Nicole? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I almost killed a Styrian. It would have been funny. She wouldn't let me. Nah. I don't need a reason. I just kill him. I know nothing about him. He does suck. I do stab. We're very different people. Alright. Cool. I think we're all good. What's this stream information? Huh. Interesting. Stream information. I don't know what that is. That's so weird. Oh, it's even weirder. It says I'm not streaming. Maybe I need Discord open up on my other computer. See if this works. Alright. Oh, I can move my screen around. Give me 1 second, just finishing this up. There we go, now it says I'm streaming. It actually works. Cool. And we should be good. Alright, cool. So, yesterday, I was still doing wall run. I was fixing up... Actually, no. I don't think I started wall run on stream. I think I talked about it, and then I didn't end up doing it on stream. That was because my TV screen was not working when I was turning on my computer, or my other computer, which I used to stream. And it just kept black screening on me. I was like, dude, every time I turn this computer on the stream, it's just black screening, and I can't do work. So after 3 attempts, I said just screw it, and then just worked on the code off stream. But, yeah, so I think I should be able to show it off. So if we go client, 1 player here, just pop in real quick. So, oh yeah, I got the temporary Unreal character model plopped in for right now. But yeah, I got the first bit of wall running working. So let's go to like this big wall over here to demonstrate it. So when you go towards a wall, as long as you have just ODM, you'll start wall running, and then you can jump off the wall. So it's pretty neat. Went through a lot of iterations on this, even in an earlier prototype for this game. So this version of wall running is already better than the one I prototyped a long time ago. I wouldn't say a long time ago, like 3 months ago. But yeah, I like how the wall running is. It works really well. What's up, Nicole?
Give me the water.
Water? I don't think I drank anything from it.
I did.
Oh, okay, here you go.
Here's all the brown food.
I see. Bye-bye. So yeah, with this version of wall running, basically it's just a line trace from the left and right of my character when I'm in the air. And it grabs onto a wall, kind of just pushes me up against it. And then some booleans check if you're wall running, etc. And then when you hit jump, it will kind of just launch you in the opposite direction of your wall run, and it'll carry some of your momentum, although it is kind of capped so that you can't go ridiculously fast off the wall run. I'm still tuning like how much of the jump I want, or how far I want it to send you. Right now I think it's in a good spot, but depending on how fast you're going, I don't want you to be able to like accelerate through the wall run. It's kind of just like a recovery if you do hit a wall. So yeah, this is kind of oh man, sorry, I still have my cough, but it's not as bad anymore. I still think this feature has showed me that the buildings need to be by default a little bit bigger, so that's something that'll probably come eventually. So there's a couple bugs with wall running. I think it's okay for now. We did a I don't think we did a multiplayer test yet with the new wall running, but we're going to at some point in time. So for now, I am working on my first legitimate multiplayer game mode that has a win condition and a fail condition. It's just going to be Juggernaut from the Halo games. Hey Hike, what's up, dude? How you doing? I'm doing good. Just starting out my stream. I was just talking about how I didn't stream yesterday and kind of running down what I did yesterday in terms of like the wall running. I know you just joined, so give me like 2 seconds so I can like show it off again real quick. I just implemented wall running yesterday, and it lets you like get stuck on walls and then jump off them. I just did all the programming for that, and it works pretty well. A couple issues, but it's working. So that's what I did yesterday, and then today I'm going to be working on an actual game mode to test out PvP and stuff. I paused the music again. This always happens. Okay. But yeah, I didn't stream yesterday. I was having technical issues, but I did work on the game. I was mostly just playing Baldur's Gate 3. You broke your mouse, dude. My mouse is like just about to break. Maybe we'll be even. All right, so I have all these things open already. So controller, health, player. We got the game mode here. I'm using interfaces for this to make this hopefully easier for me. I gotta turn the music down just a little bit more. It's distracting me just a bit. Oh, not that low. That's off. There we go. Way too metal playing Valorant. You'll get to a point where you stop playing games like that because you're like, man, dude, this stuff stresses me out. Like, I can't keep doing this. So at least that's what I did. Used to play a lot of Counter-Strike. I know I came back and that's how you found me. Was through Counter-Strike. Witcher 3 is better, not gonna lie. I enjoy Witcher. I think Witcher's great, but they're very different games. Witcher is definitely more like action combat. Baldur's Gate is more strategy and RPG and like many more different pathways and many more different options. But they are very similar in terms of their fantasy setting. And I feel like the characters kind of share the same... They feel like they could share the same world, I guess. Alright, so I'm creating a game mode where one person is going to be, for lack of a better term, like the Juggernaut, because that's what it's called in Halo, where they're basically selected to be someone who, like, I guess let's just say everyone is like colored blue. This person will be colored red. And it's just one person. So if you have 10 people, only one person is colored red. And then that person, when they kill people, they get points added to their score. And then when they die or get killed by a blue person, that blue person then becomes the new red person. So all the blue people can choose to work together or kill each other to get to the red person. So that when they kill them, they become them. And then they can kill other people to score. And it's going to be like first to 25 or something. So in order to accomplish this, I need to set up code to keep track of who's it. And I also need to write code to spawn people. And I'm also trying to approach this in a modular way so I can apply the respawning mechanics to different game modes. So it's a bit interesting. It's a bit weird to work on. I have been watching this tutorial series. This dude is great. His name is Kek. The dude wrote a fantastic multiplayer tutorial series that has really, really, really good information about things. But if you want to learn proper multiplayer in Unreal, this is the dude to learn, honestly. I will say multiplayer is very hard to pull off if you don't know any C++ unless you like get extra third-party plugins. So this dude, okay, so tutorial 7 here. Let me just turn down the volume. This tutorial is supposed to be about respawning and match countdown, which is interesting because he talked about game states and blueprint interfaces and game modes. So a lot of those things I definitely need to use, but I was kind of hoping he would go off on the respawning segment of this, but he didn't. So I think it's probably gonna be in a different tutorial. So I know the next one here is for setting up advanced Steam sessions, which I do already have. We got this one here that is number 9, which is creating the Battle Royale airplane. I don't know if he's just gonna be modeling it or like setting up the respawning. I haven't, like, okay, so the only thing I'm watching this tutorial for is like, I'm curious, how is he, or like, how would you spawn people in? So we have on event post login, so this is when a player connects. I guess we can just find them a spawn point. You're gonna put your game on Steam? No, I can't. It's gonna be completely copyrighted. It's literally based off of a franchise that it pre-exists. Like, I can't launch it on Steam. It'll just be probably just be like a free download. I don't plan on getting into legal trouble with this game. You know how that's supposed to work for spawn points? Yeah, that's what I'm figuring out. I mean, I've done spawn points before, but my spawn points this time, the code's a bit different, so... Oh, thanks, Nicole. I don't want any, I'm good. Okay. So I have two options for spawn points. I can just get a random Sorry, I can just get a random location, probably through navmesh, and just spawn somebody in, which is probably not the best idea. Or I can spawn somebody in through manual spawn points that I place throughout the maps, which will probably be needed for like more specific game modes. Sorry about my cough still. I think I'm just gonna stick to navmesh spawning because it's just gonna pick random locations and that should work just fine. And I already have a navmesh in my map, so I think that'll work. So when somebody logs in, they already spawn by default. Pretzel. I need to handle respawning. So I have respawning through the controller here. And if I remove this game mode cast, which I'm going to replace with blueprints, or sorry, blueprint interfaces, I have a respawn mechanic already. The only issue I have... Oops, my alarm is going off. The only issue I have with this respawn mechanic is it spawns you instantly, and it just spawns you at the world center. I can demonstrate it real quick. So 2 people, hit play. Alright, so I'm going to play as this dude. So you can see this person here is someone I just controlled. If I fly over here and attack him, it'll respawn them at the world origin right here. So we need to pick a random spawn for them to go to. So I guess that's the first order of business, because we get a lot of people getting spawn killed. Oh, your first anime had a good ending? That's good. I'm glad about that. Okay, so we're getting the player start spawn actor. Okay, I wonder if we get random location navigable radius. I mean, the radius doesn't matter. I'm gonna Google this part. Like, sorry, I'm gonna look this up off screen real quick. Unreal respawn anywhere on navmesh. So I don't know if we're going to be able to respawn with navmesh. We might need to place manual dedicated respawns. If I look up procedural respawn, let's see if we can get anything like that. Nope. There's a tutorial from Matt Asfaland? I can never pronounce his last name. This dude's also great. I watch his tutorials all the time. He's showing how to do a respawn system. He has an overview here. I'm gonna turn on this audio.
So it could be a checkpoint, you walk into something, and then set your spawn point there. Very easy to set up an advanced spawn. And this is what we're going to be going over and creating today. So without player.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip to the end and like watch his final overview.
What to do. What we've done is we've set up a system in which, using our damaging and healing system from last time, the player
So he dies.
die, and after they do die, they will respawn in a place which we have to find by pressing any button we want or using a checkpoint system, however you've got it set up.
How are you respawning though?
However, connecting that into like so, because this will
Respawn transform. What are you setting the respawn transform to?
and add a browser which will use and add named the execution character, the variable, and I'm just gonna name this.
Okay, so he just created the respawn transform, and then he's gonna set it.
The destroyed override.
He's gonna set that respawn transform.
Your damage system here to die down here.
I don't need the damage system.
You would just do the player spawns into the level. Where are they currently? What's their current rotation? And what
Okay, what's the event he's firing off to get actor transform? Is that like on a respawn? What is that?
player? One final
Event
thing,
destroyed,
you
respawn
set
player.
point.
So
I'm gonna do
event. Okay, so he's doing on begin play.
So what I'm gonna do
He's just setting a spawn point where you
is
start from.
third-person game mode once again with the object.
Oh, hey, what's up, Running Bird?
being
Just
get game mode.
skipping through some tutorials right now. I'm trying to get some respawning ideas in my mind.
BP third-person game mode. I'm going to set respawn transform or respawn point, whatever you name.
Okay, so he's just setting respawn point based off the actor location.
My
That's
respawn
fine.
point should now be
That's
set
pretty simplified.
by over here.
Okay, so I guess I could just do an actor spawn point system. They'd have to be like, the only issue I have with setting up respawn points manually is they're not game mode specific unless I assign tags to them, which I could do. It's possible. I'm just trying to think of a more I guess procedural way to respawn for now. I'd really like to be able to respawn just off of like the nav mesh. That'd be so cool. Like if I could just take any point on nav mesh and respawn, that'd be beautiful. Cast to nav mesh bounds. Rendering component. Unreal. Can you respawn using nav mesh? You should be able to. I'm gonna ask this in the Unreal Discord as well. Do this for... I could do multiplayer or blueprint. Let's ask in... This will be a blueprint thing, not a multiplayer thing. Is there a way to get a random transform from the nav mesh I can use to respawn? Let's look that up as well. Unreal Engine get random nav mesh transform. See, the only problem I have with get random point in navigable, oh my god, this word is cursed. Navigable. Get random navigable point or something. Yeah, okay, that's what people keep saying. That's what I was thinking too. But then it's doing a radius. I mean, we could try it. We could try it. So, actor transform, spawn. Origin, it really doesn't matter. Okay, well, I got a semi-helpful answer. This can turn into a transform here. Return value. So, oh, they have a check here to see if we even return true. Filter class for the type. Nav data. I don't think the origin matters. I mean, vector by reference. Origin would just be the location of the player. Like, we don't, in theory, need that. Do we? Oh, it's saying we do, don't we? I mean, no, we shouldn't need a value. There you go. I don't. Yeah, that's always bothered me that you've had to plug something into here because it should just work. Even if you split the struct, it works too. It's really annoying. Okay, let's try this. So, I believe this fires on the server. It does. Let's test it. So, I'm gonna go run away from spawn real quick. Come out to over here, and we're gonna kill this character with this character. We'll see what happens. It spawned me somewhere. Oh my god, it might work. As long as I use 0.0 as its location. Oh, that just completely works. As long as there's like a good nav mesh spot, we should be fine. It should be able to spawn me onto buildings too. There I am. Cool. Okay, cool. We'll just have to increase that radius to 100,000 as opposed to 10,000. This seems like it's sticking to spawn as much as it can. That's good. Okay, well that fixes our respawn issue we were having. And it's procedural, meaning I don't have to place spawn points, so that totally works for now. Oh, that is a really far off respawn. I'll take it. Was it P to look at nav mesh? Okay. So as long as it doesn't go out here. Yeah, we need to fix this section up then, because we don't want people spawning out here. Let's find the world origin and shift the whole world over, because I'm pretty sure we are not in the correct location. Details, location. Cool. I guess we'll just shrink this down. I don't really know what else to do. Probably should turn off recast nav mesh while doing this, but it's not really affecting my processing, so I guess I'm fine. I mean, it's neat that this is working though. Never thought to use nav mesh for respawning. That was a neat idea. I wonder if any game actually uses it. I don't need to be perfect. I just need to not spawn. Yeah, like out here? No. Yeah, I need to at least shrink that down a little bit. Okay. Should be good over here too. It's gonna recast the nav mesh. Man, that goes quick when it's just sitting there. This was a testing object. I'm just going to shrink this down at this point. Kind of just... Oh, let's put it floating. Can't hurt to have a floating weird sphere thing. Let's make the level weird. Let's put it over here. Works for me. Do one more test of respawning. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of buildings out there. The other level should work fine, though. Let me pop into that real quick. Should be scale test here. So this has a nav mesh. And yeah, this goes out very far. Do a quick test here. So the initial respawns are still on the platform. Once somebody dies, they get a brand new location. So in this case, the respawn here was on top of the wall all the way out here. Where are you? Am I above the gate? I am. That's cool. I gotta fix that grab just not connecting. That's a really annoying bug. Also, the right-click cables being in the wrong location is also pretty annoying. Is on my list of things to fix. Alright, so that is respawning as handled by the controller. We can scrap this code. Get game mode. Where do I get pawn from? Sorry, hold on. Target self for possesses. I'm assuming that's a controller object reference. So we get game mode here. I don't need this anymore because we're using interfaces for this. As for the controller destroying the actor, I want to take that ability away from. That's a tough one. Respawning shouldn't entirely be handled by the controller. This is good. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so in our instance, we want respawning on the game mode, because each game mode is going to have a different way of respawning. So let's check the functions we can override. Spawn default pawn for call during restart player to actually spawn the player's spawn when using a start spot. You know, respawn player doesn't work with this plugin. Call during restart player to actually spawn the player's pawn when using a transform. Spawn default pawn. That's just a function override. Okay. Should have reset called when the game is reset called. Player can restart. So this lets you restart players. This essentially would be all the spawning mechanics I would need. They're all functions. Find player's start. Returns the specific player's start actors should be used for the next spawn. That's fine. So instead, we're going to use probably an interface call. We have game state here. That's more specific for things. That's more generalized information, like people, how many people are in the game. This is functionality. So we're gonna need an interface specifically for game mode. Unless we could just do get game mode, which we have here, and see if we can. Yeah, well, we always have access to the game mode through the get game mode thing, so I think it's about time we implement the interface for it. All right, so we'll create a new blueprint interface for that. I think that's the best way to approach this. So we'll right click here. We'll do blueprint. Where's blueprint? Blueprint, and then interface right here. BPI underscore game mode. And it's gonna have to be like as generic as possible. So this function will be on player killed. That's a good function to start with here. So we'll go to the game mode, class defaults, sorry, class settings, and then we'll do blueprint interface, game mode. Cool. So then we will implement. No, wait, we don't need to do anything. Yes, we do. Sorry, on player killed. So this is what will determine our thing for that. Cool. So do we need to pass into the controller? This is my current question. Because what we do is we have the health component send something to the controller to call the respawn. We need to go to the controller to begin like taking off HUD and stuff. So that's pretty important. I don't think we can do that through the game mode. We shouldn't do that through the game mode because it's a little redundant. I think we're doing this correctly. So we call respawn on the controller, which again should probably be another interface for the controller specifically instead of having to cast. It's kind of the same thing. So we'll do this on respawn, get game mode, on player killed. Oops, spelled killed wrong. Message. So this lets us call out to the game mode. Hey, player's dead. We need to respawn this player. So at this point, we can yoink all this code here, bring it into the game mode. We could probably write a function here and then override it if we parented it properly. Hi, Dexter. I'm guessing you have to go outside because you were jumping up on top of me. Hi. 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 Yep. All right. I'm going to go take Dexter outside. So I'll be like a couple minutes here. Let me scooch this over. Do a snipping tool so people know I'm gone. Hold on. I'm almost ready. Waha. Do that. Full screen this. Nah, let's do capital R. Alright. I will be right back. I'm gonna take Dexter outside. Also, my mic is still on, just letting you know. Okay. You ain't warm in here, or you good? Yeah. I thought you said something, my bad. Alright. Hi, Dexter. Okay. Cool. All right. So we're gonna need to get our pawns and controller. Specifically because the game mode does not have references to the controller. So it doesn't know what pawn we're talking about, and it doesn't know what controller we are talking about. And I believe the same goes for the controller. I don't think the controller can send through the proper controller to the server either. Actually, no, it should, because it's running on the server already. Controller object reference. We should. Does this work with Dreamcast controller? Devil, what are you doing here? You hate nodes. This is a whole node stream. We should just be able to send through get controlled pawn through the blueprint interface. Great question. What the hell would the controlled pawn return value be? Just pawn. Okay. That's pretty easy then. So inputs, controlled pawn, pawn. We love nodes. You hate my spaghetti workflow. Would you rather be coding? Because I couldn't code. I could try. I could learn it, but I'm not gonna want to. But I would if I needed to. Honestly, that should be all we need right there. It's just setting the controlled pawn across the game mode. There it is, controlled pawn right there. Did I spell controller wrong? Controlled? No, that's correct. What was the node I was stealing? Get controller. Target, pawn, file save. That should be good. Although I will say this is very messy. I don't need to promote it to a variable, it's fine. You'd rather learn coding? I'm good. Look, I'm an artist. This is what I do. Nodes is like the half of Node is like all of texturing, all of material creation, all of shader creation. Unless you're coding shaders like through actual coding, which I don't do. So this is very natural for me. This should work, I think. So just gonna scoot this in over there. This, we could delete this if this works. So we got the game mode, which we're doing a call to that game mode, which has the interface, which is triggering all the things we need to do. So let's go ahead and give that a test. All right, cool. All right. Whoa. Nothing happened. Okay, well, clearly something is wrong. All right, well, we're getting an issue. Set and location. These are all visual issues unrelated to what we're working on. Hmm. Well, first things first, we need to print string. So the print string here is going to be green, and it's going to just be controller. I know this one is returning true, but it's just there to be there. This one's gonna be game mode.
Yeah, how you doing? Okay. I got a break till 3, and then we're gonna
Okay, I'm back. I bet you it's just this controller reference here, so we're gonna get the display name. Then I want to game mode. Throw it into an append so we know it's from the game mode. Run this again. We should be doing this on 2 clients, which I believe we are. We are, okay. So the server controller went off, but it did not get the game mode. Interesting. So is it... Oh, you know what? I bet you it's because that map's not even running the game mode. Nope, it's running no game mode override. Okay. Well, what's... You know, that explains it. What is the other level game mode? It's a dev game mode. Okay, let's run both of these on the Juggernaut mode. Just for now. It's the same as the dev mode. Okay. Well, that's probably the reason it wasn't working. Hopefully everything is working correctly. Oh. Well, we got destruction of the pawn there, but we did not get a respawn. I was very curious. Why did we not get a respawn? Oh, did we return the correct player? I am back again. I need to check to see what's going on. Uh-oh. Something wasn't working there. We good? You got movement on both? Cool. So let's read what it says. Game mode is not giving us a controller. It has no idea who the controller is. Okay, so that's kind of an issue. It's probably because it can't get the controller. As the game mode, I don't think it can get the controller from there. We should probably be passing this in as a separate reference. Get controlled pawn. I know technically it's doing itself. So to test this to see if this even works in the first place, I'm going to unconnect that. This doesn't matter. We know this works. let's just hook up the default respawn mechanics and plug in the controller. Get controller. It's still getting controller off self. That's literally the same thing. So let's be get controlled pawn. Very specific and just... No, it should just work based on what I'm thinking. Well, look, we already got set up. Let's just hit play and try it. If that doesn't work, then there's a bigger issue we'd have to solve. But okay, actually, yes, it seems like it's not working. So that is a problem. It's grabbing the controller, but is it grabbing the specific controller? Probably not. So if we have that unplugged and we run this, it's working fine. You know, I just realized we don't need to pass through the controller because we are the controller. We just need to pass in self. I'm so smart, dude. Okay, so let's go to the blueprint interface, and then if we promote this to variable, we get blueprint GMC controller. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. So oops, sorry. BP GMC controller object reference. And then we will literally just throw in a reference to self. We can delete this self variable. We do not need that. I wonder if we can get control pawn using this idea. We can try it. We could try it. For now, we just need to... what is happening? Pass the controller into here. Nope, not that. And then pass it into the target for the pawn, and then delete this because it's redundant. Cool. Try that out. Oh, wait. Hold on. Slight issue. I did not unplug the respawn code from the controller. Now we're good. No. Now it's not even... No, it's not even doing anything. Oh, you know what? I unplugged this. Forgot about that. Sorry. Now we're good. Now it should work. It should work. Cool. Looks like it's working. And out of my curiosity, so I don't have to pass two references into this blueprint, if I just use the controller, we can probably just use the controlled pawn and use it for the target for destroy actor. And that should work too, I think. I think we're good here. Because it should know the controlled pawn from the controller now. So, yeah, that destroyed the actor. Cool, so we actually don't need to pass in two variables there. I don't think it matters at all performance-wise, but just, you know, in theory, we don't need to do this. So, go to here. We should probably unplug everything first. Don't need controlled pawn. It's going to freak out once we remove this anyway. Controller. I think we're all good here. Okay, we can remove controlled pawn, just pass in the controller. Oh no, we're all good. Okay, cool. So we get the game mode for the target, send in the controller, then use the controller for the destroyed actor. Sorry, no. That's what we're doing for the destroy actor. And then we can eventually probably convert this into a function as a parent blueprint. Get controlled pawn, destroy actor. Okay, cool. And then just make it so that this can translate down to other things. Because not all of our respawn code is going to be the same. So we take the controller for that. And I think we're done. Let's try respawning one more time. Yeah. Seems good to me. We will check with a dedicated server or a listen server in a second here, just to make sure we're not getting any errors on the listening server side of things. It looks so jank with this mannequin. Just flipping around, flying away. No, looks good. We got the kill there, we got a respawn. Everything seems to be working good. Cool. So that is the new respawn system using blueprint interfaces. It's super basic, but we're passing it to the game mode, which is needed. Yeah, we could always send it to the current game mode. Hi Horizon, welcome. I completely missed your message. I thought you were Hike saying we love nodes. Destroy actors. So I think we're good to just delete all this code because it's working now. The only thing that happens is we remove the widget, and that's good. So health calls respawn on the controller. We need to probably make a controller blueprint interface because that means the health component would always have to cast here. Actually, the respawn... Oh, maybe we could just keep the same interface. I don't know. Interfaces are confusing sometimes. I think we'll just keep it as is. Oh yeah, Piss Pants is the function name. I need to change that at some point. I could probably do that right now. Update. Yeah, update health. Update health, then we have respawning as part of this, although it should be its own function. It doesn't really matter right now. So, yep, this just lives in the controller. Game state. I don't think we need game state. Honestly, I don't even think game state will be needed. At least for right now. And then interface here is good. Only thing we need to change is we need to wait. We need to do a timer, like a delay, and then respawn the actor. I don't think we should use a delay like this, but because it's running on the server, it should be fine. So if we do like 3 seconds, yeah, it's a latent node. It's kind of gross. Depends on frame rate, but we should be fine. Now, another question is, what if 2 people die at once, right? Does this delay affect that? That's my only concern. That's why I don't want to use a latent node. So this would have to be converted into a function so that this can do multiple things at once. Let's test the respawn timer. Right, it doesn't destroy the actor for 3 whole seconds, meaning they can just kind of do whatever. So this delay needs to come after we destroy the actor. Obviously bad implementation, but you know, for our current reasoning, this will be fine. Yeah, we can't move for 3 seconds and it spawns us in. Oh, man. Oh, dying. Cool. Yeah, so Horizon, I don't know if you're here for that, but the respawn system actually just gets a random point on the nav mesh from the world origin, just outward from like a ridiculous distance, and it just respawns you anywhere it can from the nav mesh. And it works fine. It really does. It works for this sort of game mode. Yeah, you saw that, I know. That's cool. I'm excited about that, because I don't have to play spawn points now. At least for this. No more spawn killing, I know. Okay, cool. So this is the game mode that handles event on player killed, respawns them. So now we need to implement the actual game mode itself. So, oh, we call notify here. What's this? This is for the game state, I'm guessing. Post login, disconnecting player. Event on player killed. So I guess the game state would keep track. No, the game mode would keep track of score, I think. I think it can do that. I don't care about score right now. I care about changing who the person, who's it. So I think for the on player killed, we need the person who did it. And we basically need to check if, like, is the person who was killed, were they the one it? How can we keep track of that? So it needs to be on the game mode only that keeps track of that. So on begin play too, we need to assign somebody this. So I wonder if we use like a gameplay tag. If we could assign tags of people. Because we can't assign variables, because we can't change the variable on someone. Because this is very independent of everything else. We basically can't affect the player, we can't affect the components on the player, we can't affect the controller. Because all three of those things can be on a completely different game mode, unrelated to Juggernaut. So this needs to be done on the game mode section, or game mode side of things. So on begin play, we create a new custom event called Find New Juggernaut. Maybe we could do like it waits to have 2 people in the game, and then once there is, it picks one. We could do that. I don't know. Event begin play. Let's just do have begin play pick the person to be it. I wonder, like, gameplay tags. Or we don't want to be attaching and unattaching components, do we? Let's try if we could do tag. So on begin play, get all. Oh, actors of class with tag. Okay. We should be able to add tags then. Let's just try this. You know, no, hold on. For each loop. So this literally gets us every single actor who's playing as the ODM player pawn. We could just do get all controllers. Because if we do it to the controller, assign the tag on the controller, we can always get the pawn from the controller. We'll have to do this on the controller, because if the player dies, we can lose this variable. How can we do that? Get player controller. There's a get all connected devices. I saw that. How do we do this? Get controller. Get local controllers, get local player IDs. Get number of players controllers. Returns the total number of available player controllers, including remote players when called on a server. Okay, so that's useful for getting how many players are in the game. Just label that node for now. We'll use this later. Whoops. That'll be useful at some point. How do we get a random controller? It's so weird that I'm baffled by this. Alright, Google time. Unreal Engine, get random controller. How can I choose a random player? You want to utilize the... Okay, let's read this first. So I'm working on a multiplayer game where the game chooses a random player who will be the killer. Others will be normal people. This is essentially what I'm doing. I didn't find a lot of information. Okay, so you want to utilize the event on post login in your game mode or game instance blueprints. It is triggered anytime someone connects and has been assigned their player controller. The pin it provides is the reference to the assigned player controller. You can make an array and pick via that. That's not a bad idea. If we, they said on post login, which is this one here. If we promote this to variable, it's a player controller reference. Okay. So that gives us all of our player controllers. Let me do one more Google search though. I feel like we get a better result. Pick based on elo. Yeah, it'd be funny. Get actor of class, player controllers, iterate through all of them. Doesn't work on a client. That's fine. Doesn't need to work on a client. Okay, so we have a couple options here. We can get all the controllers of class, which will just get them all at once. I don't think that'd be taxing. So we could just create an array like they were saying. Let me delete this new player thing. Actually, no, I lied. Let me take this. Why am I not getting settings? Here we go. Array. Player controller array. We'll name this. Connected players. Get the array. We could get random. So if we just assign to this array, how do we add to an array? It's been so long. So that's exiting controller. Add. Okay. So add to the array, return value. We shouldn't need remove. Okay. Connected players. I mean, that should work. Just adding them to an array. I don't think we need to index them. They should be indexed already. I'd like to find a way to remove from an array. Okay, so there might be an issue regarding this. If we add them to an array, the index number, like if there's 5 people, they're index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If player 3 disconnects, or player index 3 disconnects, 4 and 5, or 4 then becomes 3. So that might be an issue, I think. Maybe it won't be. Because we don't need to know the index number of players. We're just assigning a tag to one of them. Maybe this is fine. Add. Remove. Remove item at a given index from the array. I see. We'd have to do a for each, I think, and then find the matching player controller. And then if it matches, remove it. There's no way this would work. Controller object reference is not compatible with player controller object reference. Player controller? Controller. Why is there a difference? Oh, that's so weird. Is it because we don't have the reference to the player anymore when they disconnect, so it's just a generic controller object reference? Player controller object reference. Okay. Can I just make an array out of this one then? Because it's still a controller. It should still work, right? No, they don't. I thought because it'd be the parent it would work, but I guess not. Well, this is a bit confusing then. Because I know what to do, like in my mind, like it's working in terms of like how it's gonna work, but because we have 2 different references, how do I do this? We'd have to figure out who disconnected, and we only get the controller object reference. Someone else has to have this issue. Unreal on logout controller reference array. Managing connected players 24-minute tutorial from Kekdot. Of course it is. Kekdot is such a good tutorial creator. Let's just kind of skim ahead.
And click on select.
Yeah, he's gonna create a game mode. There he goes. Post login. He's literally doing it right now. Okay. This is exactly what I need to look at.
Seconds. I want the server to spawn everybody at a certain location because the game is about to start. Then the server can now do this because the server has this information. So how would the server do something like that? Well, if we hold F and left click, we get it for each loop. And now the server could do certain functionality for every player that is in here. So here we get a player controller node, which is called event here gets called. So what is seamless travel? Well, let's say that you are.
This is all going to be useful. Let's just watch this.
Information to the connected clients at some point. Or let's say that a timer runs of 30 seconds after.
Also, this is this dude's channel. Just for reference, go watch his channel. Go watch every single video. This dude is an amazing Unreal Engine programmer. Actually knows what he's doing. I feel like a lot of tutorials, they teach you a concept very bare bones, and it's sometimes wrong. this dude has like yet to be wrong with his tutorials. Like they're actually really well solidified, good, well thought out plans with solid workflows. Like makes fantastic tutorials.
To spawn everybody at a certain location because the game is about to start. Then the server can now do this because the server has this information. So how would the server do something like that? Well, if we hold F and left click, we get it for each loop. And now the server could do certain functionality for every player that is in here. So here we get a player controller, and we can have all these player controllers teleport them to a certain location, for example. So that's why it's a good reason to store a copy of all your connected players. Then let's look at another node, which is called onSwap player controllers. And this function over here, if we hover over it, it says called when a player controller is swapped to a new one during seamless travel. So what's the difference between this one and this one? Well, we see here that we have a reference of the old player controller, and we have a reference of a new player controller.
Interesting,
So
interesting.
this event here gets called. So what is seamless travel? Well, let's say that you are in your game and your session, which is a lobby. Players then connect. They then connect on the on-post login gets called, because this, as it says here, when you log in, and this login only happens once when the player connects. Now let's say that you, as the whole server, you guys travel from a lobby level to a gameplay level. At that point, you're already logged into this session, so this one will not get called again. But I do leave from one level to another level, which means I go from one actual physical level like this to another.
Okay, so that makes sense. I'm not gonna need this yet.
And you know what that means? Once I go to the second,
But that's good to know in the future. I'm gonna give this video a like so I come back to it.
Basically, get that variable again. Well, you guessed it. If we swap the level, we want to just do the same thing with our players.
Okay, I wanna.
So
Yep, log out. There we go. That's it. How's he doing
over
this?
here we can now type remove, and I want to remove an item. So let's say we have this array. I want to remove a disconnecting player. So this guy needs to go in here. Well, as you see, since this is the controller reference and this is player controller, so
This dude's amazing, dude. Oh my god, literally best tutorial creator. I know it's 22-minute long tutorial, but dude, it's worth it. You just skipped where you need. Look at this. He's literally solving my exact issue. This dude's fantastic.
Player controller reference. This cannot connect. So the first thing you're gonna have to do here is that from this exiting, you're gonna have to cast, and you're gonna have to cast to the controller that's exiting. And as we see here, for this whole game mode setup, we have the BPPC base setup. So over here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a simple cast to BP, and then we need this blueprint player controller base setup. And this guy is the guy.
I didn't even think about that.
UI over here. So what you could also do, as you see, this is only a player controller reference. You could also have this be a direct reference of the player controller that you use inside of your game mode. So it could also be a direct reference of this BPPC base setup, and then you do not have to cast every time that you use this. So let's say I do it for each loop with this variable over here. Now I want to execute an event that exists on that player controller. Then first I have to actually cast. So the first thing I'm gonna have to do, if I want to communicate with each of these players' player controller and call an event there, like let's say the pop-ups on UI on their screens, for example, then I'm gonna have to cast. Now, as you can imagine, if I put this cast in between here and basically straight away from the connecting player controller do the cast, and then basically store that as a reference in here, and don't have this be of the type player controller, but have this be directly of the type BPPC base setup. This one, this object reference as an array, so you still have to make an array of it. Then I do not have to do this cast here anymore, because of that point the cast is already made over here. But that's just a matter of optimization. So for now, I'm gonna keep it like this, and on the event logout.
Honestly, for my case, I need to get a reference to the player controller immediately, so that initial cast is going to fit what I'm doing. I think I'm going to roll with that. That seems like it makes the most sense to me because I need to assign a tag, or at least I'm going to try to assign a tag. So we're going to yoink this out, and then we're going to change the player controller reference to, I think, GMC controller, change variable type. Should be good. I never do this, by the way, like changing variable types. I get the weirdest errors occasionally from doing that. And honestly, these scare the shit out of me, so I'm always scared when I do that. I try not to. GMC controller. That is literally what I'm using. Okay. So that's the conversion. Although when this is plugged in, this is going to be a wrong object reference. Except it's not. Why is it letting me add it? It's not even... Okay, whatever. Cast to blueprint underscore GMC controller. Just do that, and then that'll work. Sure, do cast every time player joins. It shouldn't be that bad. Shouldn't have many issues with that at all. And then, I mean, like that tutorial was showing. He labeled as all PCs. I'm just gonna do all connected players. Makes a little bit more sense. So we're gonna do get all connected players. Remove, I think remove item. Okay, clearly I missed something here. Hold up.
I can simply do it more. Because of that point, the cast is already made over here. But that's just a matter of reference as an array, so you still have to make an array of it. Then I do not have to do this cast here anymore. Because of that point, and basically store that as a reference in here, and don't have this be of type in between here, and basically straight.
There's a slight issue with what I understood there.
Player controller that you use inside of your game mode. So it could also be a direct reference. Now I want to execute an event that exists on that player controller. Then first I have to actually cast.
Event on swap player controller is getting there. He's casting here, which I guess I'd have to do too. So I'd have to cast on login and log out. if I change the variable that.
So the first thing I'm going to have to do, if I want to communicate with each of these players' player controller and call an event there, like let's say pop up some UI on their screens, for example, then I'm going to have to cast. Now, as you can imagine, if I put this cast in between here and basically straight away from the connecting player controller do the cast, and then basically store that as a reference in here, and don't have this be of the type player controller, I'll have this be directly of the type VP base setup, this one, and this object reference as an array, so you still have to make an array of it, then I do not have to do this cast here anymore, because of that point the cast is already made over here. But that's just a matter of optimization. So for now, I'm going to keep it like this, and on the event logout, I can simply do the cast over here and remove that guy from my player controller. So what did we realize here? Well, as we see, here we have a disconnection. So let's call it event for when a player disconnects. Right, that's what we have over here. And what do we have over here?
Yeah, but he's casting to his player controller. Okay, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it works. But I thought this new player... I could just... Maybe it's because it's a generic player controller and it's getting converted into the specific player controller. Or it's like a check. I see. So I still need the cast for the other player controller at the bottom. Okay. That's fine. I'll just cast on both sides, start and end, so that I don't have to do another cast to check for the variable. Then we're removing this player controller. Okay, cool. So this will essentially be a filter to grab, or to fill up an array of all the people in the game and to remove people from the array when they disconnect. Let's keep watching this video though. See what else he talks about.
Events for when a player connects. So what did we...
Okay, that's for... I mean, I might as well set up the transition level stuff, right? It can't hurt. It's just one event. Event on swap player controller. Sounds fine by me. On swap player controllers. I mean, like, why not have it, right? I'm assuming I'd have to do this cast again. Just plug in the new PC here. Cool. And then that goes there. That goes there. And that should be handling the transition. Scoot all this up so I have some space. And then I could leave a little note here. Level transition. Controller change. Cool. Scoot all this down. I mean, that seems completely fine to me.
Realize now, let's remove this. So what do we realize now inside of our multiplayer game? Well, we realized player connection / disconnection. If I can type correctly. So like this. Let's make this darker because that looks cool. Boom. So now we realize in our multiplayer game player connection and player disconnection. Now we have this array. Okay, so that's great. This now exists on the server. This variable I can set it to replicate, but that's not going to do anything because as I explained in the last video, and if you haven't watched it, please watch that so you understand this. The game mode only exists on the server, and because it only exists on the server, I cannot replicate this.
That makes sense.
Actually, like everything else except for the game mode and the widgets can replicate basically. So okay, now we manage this. Now what is next? Let's go back to this screen here. So now inside of the game mode we have some connection set up. That's the first thing. Just like in the game mode variables that exist inside of this game state. So we can get here a copy of the game mode player array of them inside of our self-made variable, so that we can basically have this variable and have control over these players more to keep track of all of these players, because the game mode can keep track of these player controllers, but the game state can also keep track of all of these player states. So what does it look like? Why is that useful? Well, from this array, for example, just like from this array we can call those player controllers and do something there, we can also just use this one and get player state from the player state get player controllers. So what does that look like? If I do it for each loop through these connected players here, and
So this is on his
this array automatically gets updated by people connect or disconnect this
game state. Let's hear what he has to say here about the game state.
controllers. So what does this look like? If I do a for each loop through
Sorry, I missed
from
what
this
you said there.
array, we can call those player controllers and do something there. We can also just use this one and get the player state, and from the player state get the player controllers. So what does this look like? If I do a for each loop through these connected players here, and this array automatically gets updated, by the way. If people connect or disconnect, this one automatically gets updated, and we do not have to make our own code like this, because this is our own custom variable. We don't have to do that. Here this automatically happens. So what's useful in this one? Well, here we get a player state object reference. So what we can do, for example, is we can do get player controller. And from this player controller that is connected to this player state, we can then do cast to BPPC, and then not framework, but BPPC base setup, which is this tutorial. So now in the game state, we can also loop through all of this and call functions on every single player, for example. So yeah, this is the same. We can do it here, or we can do it here. And on both of these classes, we can have an array and an inside and overview of all of our connected players. All right, so if you talk about something like, for instance, a player list, then you could fetch that information of the player list from something like a game mode, or you could fetch that information from a player list from something like a game state. All right, I think that's a good basic setup.
So the game state literally would just give me access to all the players. Why am I not using the game state? What am I doing? Because I'm pretty sure the game mode gives me more overridable functions than the game state. I should have a game state class somewhere over here. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Let's find it. Oh, it's in data. Should be game state right here. So this is my generic game state class for what I'm doing. The game state literally has functions for when an actor is destroyed. Interesting. So, why am I putting code in the game mode instead of the game state? This is interesting to me. I would like to learn more about the difference between these two. Seems like the game state does have more replicated variables that are important for multiplayer, like by default. Although, the game mode does determine the game state. The game state could also be generic, where the game mode can be specific. But because you can pick a specific game mode, you could also pick a specific game state. So, it's really a question of, do you separate your game modes through all your game states, or through all your game modes? I should be able to just pull information from the game state. Let's try it. I mean, we got direct reference to the game state here. And because it's a game mode, it would give us how much time needs to be spent before a player respawns. Get player start time returns the time that should be used when a player started. Get player array. Look at that. There it is. that's this value here. So I'm like eating pretzels right now. It's probably ridiculously loud in my microphone. I'm thinking about this, right? We can get the game state like directly and get the players. Like there's a player array. I'm staring at it. It is player state object reference. All right, so let's just say okay, wait, does game mode begin play fire off every time a player joins? Or just I'm assuming it only fires off when the session is created. Oh, okay. Tag. Interesting. Two tiny little pretzels left and I'm good. Okay. Sorry, Nicole brought me pretzels. I couldn't not eat them. Nicole, what's up with them? Oh, never mind. Okay. So, basically, I need to find a way to do this. So, it's essentially just tag. Like a really advanced version of tag. Here's a video from the Game Dev
Oh,
Cave
let's talk about this because
about
if you are a developer
using gameplay
using
tags.
Unreal Engine and maybe you're just getting into things and you're not aware of what I'm about to explain to you, I'm willing to bet that your character blueprint variable tab looks a little something like this. We have a bool for being stunned, and another bool for things like iframes for being invincible, and then we have another bool for is attacking, and we have a bool for maybe being burnt if you have like a burn status, and then we also have like a poison status, and we have a is healing status, something like that. And before you know it, we actually have a lot of bool variables, and that's just very messy and very annoying to have to deal with. So then you might think, oh, but I can just make like a status effects bool array instead, and I'll just remember all of the indexes and which status effects they correspond to. I don't need to have any names, and that's a little clunky as well, because now you're also updating a separate document somewhere, maybe in a Google Drive or whatever, to be able to even remember what these things mean. At which point you might say, oh, okay, but I've heard about this, I've got an idea, I make a string array instead, and we'll turn that into a map that goes with a boolean variable. And now what we can do is we can put a name and a boolean there. And this is actually the closest to being a decent ID. But still, that's not what we're going to be talking about today. These are all decent solutions, they all work, but Unreal has a gameplay tag system built in, and you should be using it. So instead of all this, what we're going to do is we're going to add one single variable, and that will be our tags. We'll just call it gameplay tags. And that will be a type gameplay tag container. This is, as it sounds, a container for gameplay tags. So what we can do here is we can edit what gameplay tags we have, and by default, there's no tags here.
Interesting.
This is where we get into this, because things like being stunned and having iframes, or maybe having a bool for whether or not a character is at that moment doing an attack, the burnt, poison, healing, all those kinds of things. You're going to need to put that on a whole bunch of different classes. Your enemies are probably going to need very similar things. You might want to also like have a certain destructible object that you can set on fire or something like that. Point being is that those bools are going to be reused in a lot of different places in your game, and there's really no sense in making all those classes all have these bool variables, and then when you want to change it anywhere, you need to go through like 50 different blueprints and change them everywhere, and it's just bothersome. So what we do instead is what we can do is we can add a new gameplay tag, and we'll just name this one status.
So
Stop.
with
And
tags, I just need to know how to do something. Because we need to run the logic kind of on the game mode. So has tag, let's see. Has all tags, has any tag, has tag. Exact match tag, tag container, get tag is what we're probably gonna need as well. Whoops. Get all actors with tag. That's pretty cool. That would be extremely, extremely bad. We don't need to do get all actors with tag. We just need to get... can we get... Is there like on tag updated? What's all the things we could do with tags? So, get all actors with class. Get all actors with tag. Get tag value, set filter tags and values, component has tag, get asset tag system, compare tags, add gameplay tag, append gameplay tag containers, break gameplay tag container, does container match tag, debugs, get tag name, has all tags, is gameplay tag valid, is tag query empty, make gameplay tag container from array matches, match any tags. Okay. Okay. Let's just keep watching this video. I feel like it might get explained.
In a source, we have the default gameplay tags.ini. In general, that's where you're going to store all your gameplay tags to begin with, and we can even add a comment to it. So, character is stunned. And then when we add that tag, you will see it has a hierarchy to its tags because we call it status dot. So status will be the parent tag, and then dot is a child tag, stun. So now we can check, I'll show you how in a moment, we can check if any status applies to a actor at all, or we can specifically check for a status like being stunned. So let's add another one. That will be status dot burn, for instance, and we'll say it's burn. We'll add a new tag, and now we'll be able to see under the status we have either burn or stunned that we can enable.
That's
So
pretty
also,
cool.
click this plus sign over here to add a subtag, which will just add the status dot for you, and we can say.
But again, like...
want to add.
How do I do things based on events?
I will add a new tag, and just like that, we now
Or
have
tags.
all these tags with a parent tag. So again, we can check specifically for anybody being poisoned or burned or stunned, or just check whether or not any of these are enabled, because the moment we enable any of the child tags, the parent tag automatically gets enabled as well. And we can check that with the has tag function here. So
Okay,
with the
okay.
has tag, I generally don't actually use this. I generally use this through the bottom one here for gameplay tags, and there we can put in our tag container, and we can check for any specific tag. So let's check for the stun tag, and here we can say whether or not we need an exact match. So if we want a exact match, it will only return true when it is status.stun.
Okay, we could use an interface. Like a tag interface.
But if we say, oh, we don't actually need an exact match, we just need to know whether or not it has any of these status.stun. So what you can do is, of course, you can also say status.stun for like from a hammer attack, or we can say status.stun from being stupid. I don't know. And at this point, if we just want to check status.stun, and it doesn't matter what we do, we don't want the exact match. We just want to know, is it stunned at all? If any of these child tags are enabled,
This tag system seems awesome.
that's fine. That does mean that we'll just stun. If we do want to check for an exact match, what we'll do is we'll check, is it just status.stun? No child tags applied, just status.stun. So in general, you probably don't actually want to have this enabled, because that is the entire power of having this gameplay tag system, is that you can check for a parent tag and all the child tags will also count. So just for the purpose of this example, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to just check on every frame whether status.stun is
God.
enabled. I'm not going to be looking for an exact match because I don't really care about any of that gameplay tag. So the way we do that is first when you go through, it goes through there, and then when you go through it again, it does this one, and then when you go through it again, it does the first one again, and over and over and over again. So we can see it's now printing out false. When I press F, it starts printing out true because I now have a gameplay tag, and then when I press F again, it starts printing out false again because I don't have a gameplay tag anymore. Now, the wonderful thing is, if I make any other actor in my game, so let's just say we make a test actor here, and in this test actor, I add another gameplay tags container. These gameplay tags are stored in the default gameplay tag.ini, which is just an engine file, right? So they are available throughout the entire project, which is
Nice.
absolutely fantastic. You can also make separate ini files for separate reasons. If you want to separate the different gameplay tags from different files, you can do that. I honestly have never bothered with that because it doesn't seem all that relevant, but especially if you're using a lot of gameplay tags, maybe that can be nice to be able to separate them. Anyway, so now you can make these gameplay tags, which are effectively just bools anyway, just with a little bit more intelligence behind them, and they are available throughout your entire project, so you don't have to remake those bool values on every single function. We're going to add in a output that will be our tag. Class settings, we can go into the
Whoa, what was
and
that?
if you're familiar like that, just in this new function, you can make a blueprint interface.
This is it. This is what I need to know.
That's the gameplay tag containers on other actors. What you can easily do is you can make a blueprint interface here, and we'll call that BPI get tags, something like that. Just in this new function, we're going to add in a output that will be our tag container, which will be of type gameplay tag container. And if you're familiar with how blueprint interfaces work, this should all be self-explanatory. If you're not, I've got a specific video explaining how blueprint interfaces work and why they're useful. But now we've made a get gameplay tag container function on this interface, and if we have a test actor here with our gameplay tags, which is a gameplay tag container, in the class settings, we can go into the interfaces and we implement the get tags interface that we've made. And when we do that, we can get our return node here, and we simply return the gameplay tags on this. And this is now callable from any other blueprint, meaning that our character, for instance, can just try to run this function on any object it tries to interact with. If it does have this interface, it will get back the gameplay tag container. Again, if you want to know more about blueprint interfaces and how to use them, it works really well together with something like this, go check out my video specifically on blueprint interfaces.
Okay. Gameplay tags. This is what we need. I think this is the best way to do this. I'm gonna give the video a like. This is from the Game Dev Cave. Already, I like this dude's tutorial. Yeah, this is great. I'll have to check out more of their tutorials. Subscribe as well. Check out that stuff. Great tutorial. Fantastic. Okay. So, the question is, how do we organize our tags now? We could do game mode tags, game mode specific tags. And then we could just, there's an add gameplay tag right here. So we literally just on begin play. Let's wait 10 seconds. We're gonna write the most stupid code you've ever seen right here, right? So we're gonna wait 10 seconds. Then we're gonna check all connected players. I don't think we have to iterate through these. I think we're good. I think this is already a reference to the player controller. We'd have to send the interface to the controller, because we need to give the tag to the controller, and then the controller needs to execute some logic on its own. So we do need an interface. Let's do that. Let's start with that. So we're gonna do this all on the controller end. So we'll go to interfaces. We'll create a new one. Man, we have so many of these now. Blueprint interface. Blueprint interface underscore gameplay tags. We could do game mode gameplay tags. Ooh, that is a good question. How do we want to handle this? Game mode mode tags. We'll try this for now. Because status effects, I'd like to keep separate from game modes, but I guess they're all gonna kind of run on the same system. We'll see. We'll change as we go. So the controller needs this, right? Oh no, we can add the tag. Okay. Let's start with the game mode tags. Game mode tag container on the controller. Game tag. Where's tag? What was it? Tag container. Gameplay tag container. A tag container holds a collection of gameplay tags. Tags are included explicitly by adding them from adding child tags. A single gameplay tag. No, we want the container. Okay, let's do this. So we got it. It exists now. So we just don't have any tags. Input user settings. Oh wow, these are... Never touched those before. How do I create a new one? Oh! Source. Default gameplay tags .ini, sure. Name. Oh god. Game mode dot Juggernaut. Dot chosen. I don't know. Selected. We could do is Juggernaut. Comment. What's the comment do? Add new tag. There we go. Game mode, Juggernaut is Juggernaut. So we have tags for different game modes now. Sure, that could work. So, oh, I'll be right back. Oh, okay, I'm back. Sorry, got a phone call. Very last second there. Alright. We're on the controller. So I'm guessing we can't really assign a tag unless they have a tag. Perfect. So we actually can do this game mode tag. Juggernaut is Juggernaut. If true, the tag has to be exactly present. If false, then the tag container will include its parent tags. No, we need an exact match of this. Cool, so perfect for on player is killed here. This is great. It's actually going really well. So we get the controller, which is the exact controller reference we need. Thank goodness. And this should be a function. It should be. We need a function for tag container. Oh, we need a reference to the tag container. Okay, well, luckily we just have it. So it's called game mode tag container. Get game mode tag container. Check the tag container. Are they the Juggernaut? If the answer is yes, then we need to transfer who it is. We need the instigator. Who killed them? If false, do nothing. If true, we need to get the person that killed them. So go back to controller. When you track this down, it's not here. That's a problem. We'll add the parameter in a minute. Health. Update health. It's not there. Here we go. Controller object reference. Instigator. Damage causer. The actor. We need the controller. So we got the health. Then we got our self. Instigated controller. Thank goodness this is from the server. So let's go to health. Let's add in instigator controller. And then this needs to be of the type controller object reference. Okay. This one. We just got so many things going on here. So we need an instigator here as well for respawn. Blueprint component health. So on the controller, keywords, inputs, instigator, controller, controller reference. So that'll let us pass the instigator reference over to respawn. And this is a function too. Very disorganized. Let's like, try to make a little bit more sense out of this, even though it's a bit messy. Right, because that's the execution node. Oh man. Okay. What is the music I'm listening to? Has it changed? No. Okay. It's a 12-hour video. I think we're good. So we get the instigator. And then we need to go to on player killed. Controller. Instigator controller. So we do have a slight issue. Object reference. No. We only have a generic controller reference. Which shouldn't be a problem, but it might be. Scoot this down, got the instigator controller there. We'll just pass this straight over there. So on player killed is going to the game mode. We have the instigator controller. Okay. So we check, was this person... Do we check the person who died if they were the Juggernaut? Yes. Because there's a problem if that... We can't check the instigator first. That's a whole different section of code. Okay, so we're checking the controller. So if they were the Juggernaut, it will... First off, if that's true, we need to... How the heck would we do this? Was it a blueprint interface? On gameplay tag changed? Or gameplay tag updated? We could do that. Does the controller have a direct reference to the player? It does. No, wait, widget blueprint. No, it does not. But it does have the get pawn. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out like the inheritance side of this. So if this is true, we need to basically add tag, add gameplay tag. Oh, can we not do that? Oh no, because we have the reference here. Game mode tag. No, it won't work. Okay, so we need to do cast to GMC controller. That will return true. So if true. This is so weird. Okay, so if if the person that was killed was the Juggernaut. This is weird. We need to see if the instigator was first of all a player. We need to first check if it's valid. That's the big one. Okay. Small steps, small steps. So if they were, do we have a valid instigator? If we do, we need to check to see if they were a player. So are they equal? Sorry. Are they equal to a player controller? Meaning were they killed by a player? I mean, we can just try the cast. And if the cast fails, that's essentially the same thing. Right. I mean, that also means that we don't necessarily need to do the validity check. I was kind of just right with this. The cast will do that. And then we're gonna check to see, did we kill ourselves somehow? Some magical way did that happen? Can this really not be plugged into two things? Okay, now we're good. Oh, come on, what's the... What? I don't know why I was being weird. Let's start throwing this into a function, because this is starting to get a little bit complex. Controller, instigator. Instigator controller. Now what's the issue? What, just get the instigator controller. Wait, no. Wait, what? Why is this unplugged? What have I done? Dude, what? Get controlled pawn. No, we don't need that. Where did I royally screw this up? Game mode. Tag. Controller. Object reference. Controller object reference? It's not even a specific controller object reference. What are you doing? Hold on. Well, there's your issue. It's lost its specific GMC controller. I don't know why it did that. Game mode tag container. Okay, well that was weird. Anyway, that's fixed. So if true, we need to check instigator. I mean, we could just do get instigator controller. Target is actor. Well, I guess that's not gonna work. And then we check to see if they're equal. I'm gonna find out such an easier way to do this. Yes, they are the juggernaut. The cast succeeds. And then if it's... So if they're not themselves, get game mode tag container. So we need to do... I guess this is where we need to do the blueprint interface. Add gameplay tag. So we could just do this. And this runs on the server, so this should be fine. we need to remove gameplay tag as well. So that's not the right one. Controller. That would do it. All right. We're just not doing any event from this. That is such a good question. How would we do? Because all I want to do is just change the material color of the player. Let's see. We need a name for this function first off. I mean, we would just need a reference to their player controller. I mean, we have really no way of trying or testing this. Game mode. I don't think an interface is going to work for this. What we need to do is probably create a reference to the material and assign it to the player. But because it only runs on the server, I don't know if it'll update for everyone. This is a bit confusing because, like, sure, we can create a blueprint interface for a game mode, but I don't want to involve any of the game mode logic in the characters. So I think just on the character, we just need a reference to my material that's on the character. So I know this is a messy list of variables here. I don't even know what this one is. I could probably just delete this. Variable is in use. Dude, what do you mean I have a variable named A? What are you on about? I do. It's right here. What is it connected to? There's no way I'm using a variable just named A. What have I done to do that? Lerp. A. I do have a variable named A, but it's... Oh, you know what? It's probably from a different type of lerp, and there's way too many. There's way too many things here to find this. No way. It's a float, so I'm looking for green. Distance, new track. Here we go. That's seriously a variable? Oh my god. Why is this here? What is this? This is in the dynamic FOV tick. Which this is all this code's gonna get scrapped at some point because I've written it better. Why are you just called A? Okay, well, clearly you're useful, but... $95. A value FOV. Okay, at least have a name. What's better than that? Alright, we need a material instance. I don't think we have one. This would be for the skeletal mesh right here. We're using material instances already. Begin play. Alright, so... we can just grab the skeletal mesh. Create dynamic material instance. Option name. Okay, well, I've changed parameters for material for these cables before. I should be able to quickly reference that. Cables. It's a bit messy, so I apologize. Set scalar parameter value on materials. We want this node. It's not a scalar parameter, but I'm just going to yoink it for a second. Set scalar parameter value on materials. Maybe we don't need the dynamic material instance then, because it seems to just grab it from the original. Maybe we're fine. We're not using a scalar material though. We are using a... Shrink that down. Scoot this over, I guess, because I don't have room. Content, assets. I believe it's in materials. Material instance, default instance. So we would be changing base color in the player. So set vector parameter value on material. Ah. Maybe we do need the dynamic material instance. Okay, wait, no, hold on. I meant not necessarily exactly vector. It's 3, what's it called? Constant? No, hold on. What is the name? I need to pull up the original material. I'm blanking on this. What is this? What is this called? Default value. I completely forget. Constant? Was it constant 4, but that's including an alpha layer. Hey Nicole, what's up? Oh, sure, here. I think it's called constant. I'm gonna type that in. Love you, Nicole. Set constant parameter. No, really? Ah, shoot. Set vertex color override. Oh, shit. Alright. Unreal Engine. How to change the color of a material via blueprint. If only this website would load. I see the website I found that lists how to do this. None of the images are loading. Oh, you know what? It's probably because I'm running ads. It does not like, or I'm running ad block. Oh, that's gross. Okay, hold on. Change parameter value of material instance. Vector parameter. Set material instance parent. Set material instance vector parameter value? What? Cast to material instance constant. Why are, this seems old. It's from 2022. Oh my god. They're casting to it. Okay.
Now, and then we
Set vector parameter value.
can take this. Isn't even going to be. So first,
What?
set this on integer. On 2,
Set vector parameter value. Material parameter collection. Dude, I do not have a material, whatever the hell that is. Parameter name. I definitely don't have those. Maybe this would work. Like, unironically. I mean, it's worth a shot, right? Begin play. I mean, I could just run it through there. Parameter name. This is weird, dude. Base color. Let me delete this other thing. I've never, like, had to do this. At least, I think I've done it in a construction script, at least, or something like that. I don't know. And I had it, like, randomize or something. That sounds familiar. Base color, 000. Alright, so I think I should be, like, just solid black. I am. Holy shit, it worked. Cool. So if I do 111, I did not think this would work, by the way. Yeah, and 0.5 should be gray for each. Matter of fact, if I just reduce 2 of these to 0.5, Z's red, I'm assuming. RGB, B, Z is blue. I should be like purple. Some like light blue. That works. That works exactly how I was hoping it would. Cool. So we can literally just use this. Fine by me. So, for a lack of a better gameplay mechanic, we will just, you know, we should probably get the color we want to change to first. Can we, like, set back to default parameter as well? That is my only concern. So R should be this. So R would be G, or the first one, 0.5. Let's just do 0.2 and 0.2. We don't. These could be 0. What are we talking about? R can be 0.8. I'm sure that'll be fine. That works for me. Alright, I just want to nail that down first. Okay, so it works. I mean, we just need a reference to the skeletal mesh. We don't really need a material reference. So I'm gonna steal this node. Let's go into the game mode. Probably write up a new function for this. So I'm gonna need 2 things here. This controller is gonna need to get pawn. get controlled rotation, get controlled pawn. Cool. That should be able to do a cast to ODM player pawn. Oh, this is so messy. This is getting messy for sure. So if we're not ourselves, change the tags. Cast to the person that killed them. Get the skeletal mesh. Should be at the very bottom here. Get skeletal mesh. Plug it in for the target. If the cast succeeds, set their thingy-mabobber. That's not going to work, by the way, because that's not going to run on the client. That'll run on the server. I would like for that to pass on to the server, but it's a visual update. So, fingers crossed this works. It'll, at the very minimum, work on well, let's throw in a print string here. Let's throw in a couple print strings. So, successful Juggernaut change. That's gonna be just green. Failed game play tag search. That should be good for now. Okay, so if I understand correctly, I'm hoping this works. We'll get rid of the material instance. We're all good there. Look, one thing at a time, all right? We're getting there. We're getting there. So, we don't even know if it's going to pass the instigator correctly, let alone even trigger the rest of this stuff yet. Hold on, problem. I am passing the person who died into being the Juggernaut. The new person should be becoming the Juggernaut. Why do we not? You don't inherit from the controller. Hold on. Sorry. You are correct. This does. Okay. This works. We are still not assigning a Juggernaut. That part I'm a little less worried about. So that will just be this node, this node, this node, this node, this node. Copy this at begin play. Event graph. Close that out. So on begin play, we will wait 10 seconds. After 10 seconds have passed, we will grab a random player from the connected player array. And then color them red. This is so stupid. We need to assign the gameplay tag. So add gameplay tag. So because this is already casted to the player controller we should be able to get game mode. Oh, don't do this to me, man. You are literally the player. You are the correct controller. You should have access to this. Anyway, assign gameplay tag, Juggernaut. And I know we're not taking into account disconnects or anything. We will get there, one thing at a time. Player controller object reference. This is wrong. This is wrong. Yep. This entire array... No, this array is correct. Slight issue. Okay, big issue, actually. Scratch that. Okay. That should fix our issue. Get game mode tag. Okay. Sorry. Now it's fixed. I wasn't it was assigned to the previous thing. Actually, same issue here and same issue here. Add or add unique? Ooh. That is a great question. I'm sure will come up through testing. Because we weren't grabbing the correct reference. It's entirely my bad. Also, that means we were... Nope, we're removing the correct array. Okay. Deal with this some other time. 10 seconds passed. Cast failed. Print string. Picked new jug. Failed. Let's do red here. Failed new jug. I mean, if this works, dude, who knows? I haven't tested any of this code. It is very messy. It is very prototype. Let's hit play. Ah, it's not gonna work. No, it will. We're fine. 10 seconds should pass. It's gonna run a server message. I probably won't see anything. Pick new jug. Yeah, we're not seeing anything. I bet you that's because we need a listen server. 2 clients aren't gonna see the change in the material. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. And hey, pick the server. Cool. So we just need to multicast. Right? Right. That shouldn't be hard because we're just the server. We are the server. Multicast. Multicast. Compile, save. All we need to do is just take... Wait, that's a good question. Where would we call this? It should run on itself too. So after we do the cast, we steal this. Oh, but we don't know who it is. No, because we have the player here. Multicast new juggernaut. So we just send through the skeleton mesh. I mean, should that work? I don't know. Yeah, it should work. Is it going to? I don't really know. I mean, it's written correctly. Let's give it a little trial. And nope, it's only set on the server. So that is an issue. I bet you it's because the game mode only exists on the server, meaning this is literally just not running on anything. Okay, game mode multicast. Trying to replicate event from game mode to all clients. Is there a solution? Event on set match state. called from game mode, which as far as I understand is always run on the server, not just run, it exists exclusively on the server. So do I have to pass it back to the controller? Because I don't want to do that. I really don't, because then I'm forcing the controller to have code for a specific game mode. And I don't want to do that. So even though this is multicast, it really does not matter. Does this mean would I have to use player state? I don't want to use player state either if I don't have to. Unless I just don't understand this correctly. Alright, this is a message for the Unreal Discord. How can I multicast a that only works on the server. Only works on the server. I mean, a change color thing on the controller wouldn't. I mean, the controller doesn't even have a reference to the to the player. So, oh man. Oh, this wasn't even rep notified either, so if someone joins, they're not even gonna know who it is. Oh wow. There's a little bit more to think about than what meets the eye. Kinda cool. Is that your yogurt? Oh.
Brought it up for you to try.
Oh, sweet. I'm curious about it. Alright, let me close out some of these tabs. Oh. Have you tried it?
A little bit.
Okay, if I try this one.
This is all for you. I don't know
Oh.
how much you'd want, so. It's very cool.
I'm noticing that. No.
It's from the freezer downstairs.
Ah.
Sorry, I should have warned you. I didn't think about that.
It tastes good. Oh, there's a weird aftertaste though. I'm not sure what that's from. Maybe that's from the chocolate. I'm not expecting chocolate in
I
yogurt.
tried to give you more strawberry focused ones than the chocolate ones.
That's fair.
You like it?
Yeah, I do.
Yay! It'll be in the upstairs freezer then, where the
Hmm.
sausages are. Oh. Sneak a piece though.
Oh, use a replicated variable. That's smart.
Love you.
Love you too, Nicole. Thanks. That's really good. Okay. So, I mean, duh. We could just set the variable then. We'd have to create an event on the player, though. I think. For updating this. Hmm. Interesting. Would it be a rep notify? Oh, yeah, because on variable change. Oh my god. I just clicked. I'm like, man, am I dumb? Just promote this parameter. Compile, save, make sure the values are default. And then set this to rep notify. And then, quite literally, I don't even need this here. I just go to the rep notify. And then change it to the new parameter value. And it's replicated. It's... Oh, good point. It's, well, hold on. Right, skeletal mesh. I'm like, what is the issue? Skeletal mesh. Plug that in. I will respond to that guy's comment as soon as I test this out and make sure I'm correct and not like losing my mind over this. Parameter value should by default not be this. Okay, cool. Get rid of that. That's fine. Get rid of that. I had the right idea, but I don't need that anymore. And we need a name for that variable. Skeletal mesh parameter. Ah, god damn it. Sure. Parameter value, I'm sure we're fine. Okay, so now we just change get vector parameter value, which is at the bottom. There it is. And then we're just gonna set. Nope. Sorry, I did a get. I'm smart. Skeletal vector parameter value. And then this is going to be 0.8. And because it's replicated, picked new jug. Should work. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Player 1 spawn in. Oh, who's it gonna be? And... Oh. Okay, well, it said it picked. Alright. Got an issue then. Something ain't working. Okay, well. I think I saw the success message. We're gonna make this time down to 3 because, or 5 seconds, 4, whatever. We don't need a whole 10. I'm thinking what went wrong here was the fact we set this to rep notify. It's not set to rep notify now. That's the issue. Something freaked out when we changed it, and it wasn't rep notify. So when it changed, it didn't do anything because it said replicated when I went to check it. Rep notify. Rep notify. Bring it here. What's the node I need? God damn it. I deleted it from here, didn't I? Okay. Right, this is also wrong. But that is the correct node I need. Default 0. Well, this should all be default 1. Skeletal mesh. Connect. I mean, if the server tells it to, it's rep notify. Like, it should work regardless of if there's a game mode. That only exists on the server. Back out of here, that's not needed. We're setting it here. Set with notify. Cool. This should work now. And 4, right? Yeah! It worked. Okay, cool. Cool. Made the variable rep notify, and I set it using the game mode. Set it. That seemed to work. Alright. Awesome. We are almost there then. We're getting close. Gotta work out some of the details, but yep, rep notify seems to be working just fine. Gotta organize the game mode a little bit too. This is the first time I've made like a proper game mode, so this is working good. Whoops, wrong button, hold on. There we go. Alright, let me take some stuff downstairs, I'll be right back. Hello. Yeah, that was good, Nicole, I liked it. Egg. I will be right back. I love you too. Baldur's Gate today if you get time. Okay. Ah. I see.
I gotta be up at
Oh god. Okay, that makes sense. That's fair. I'm gonna try to work on this just a little bit more.
I'm gonna message Horizon.
I was just about to message him. Okay. Sweet. We are getting close to getting this working. We got our rep notify. I'm just gonna copy that rep notify over and then check out. Was it a function here? Change juggernaut. Let's pass it along to here. Get rid of these. Okay. So that should successfully change on a kill. Will it? I don't know, but we could try. So 4 seconds passed. The server got host. Well, let's do a couple more tests and just make sure it's picking randomly. Server again. I know there's only 2 people. Hey, okay, it is random. Cool. So I killed that person. Respawn. I'm actually really excited to play this for myself. Like an actual legitimate game mode in a game I'm making. Like instead of just a movement tech demo. Oh, this will be fun. I really, really enjoy the movement. Like it's still jank sometimes. Some bugs, but like for the most part. Okay, so we got the kill. We failed tag search. Okay. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Failed gameplay tag search. So it's this one, condition failed. And it's because we failed the exact match. I bet you we didn't assign the tag. Oh, we did. Did we? No, wait, hold on. Interesting. We might have to cast the blue. We might need to use the blueprint interface because we're getting random, and I think we can't update that value on the game mode. We'd have to do it on the interface, which I think is fine. I think that is fine. As long as we're just updating a game mode value, I think we're cool. Oh. No, this shouldn't matter. Wait, thinking. This might matter. We are grabbing all connected players, and we're grabbing random. I wonder if it's grabbing a different random for each of these. Hold on. All right. A little bit confusing going on here. That's a good question. Is the tag even getting assigned? Because technically it is. The tag is getting assigned on the server. That's all that matters. The client doesn't really need to know about their tags assigned, at least as of right now. So our issue here is that controller... So this is the person that dies. We're getting their controller from the person. So maybe... Clearly we have an issue here. For the case of testing, I'm going to reduce this radius to like 100. And then we're just gonna do some tests. 3 seconds pass, then a respawn. Okay, so we're attacking a client as a server. This is a good example of will I become the new dude? I do not. Okay, and now nobody's the Juggernaut, so we got an issue. I gotta run that test again. So it is the server. So when the server kills the player, we check the gameplay tags, right? We should be. Why did I not fail a gameplay tag search? I should have. Because we killed someone. Okay. Why did we... has tag, exact match. There's something wrong going on here. Has tag... green. Doesn't have tag red. I think I saw doesn't have tag, so that's good. Does have tag. Why is that red? I thought I made that green. Wait. Here's the issue. Doesn't have tag. We're not actually changing the thing, are we? Doesn't have tag. Perfect. That's what we're looking for. So if the server goes and kills this person, they should have the gameplay tag. Has tag? Has tag. We got has tag on both. Okay, so what's the issue? So when the server kills the client who's it, we have has tag. Double checking in. I lied. When the server kills the client, doesn't has tag. What? I thought I just did a test and it worked. What is going on? So client killing the server does not have tag. We're getting a weird ass issue right now. I am not sure what it is. Has tag. But we don't have the tag. I don't understand what's going on. Doesn't have tag. Okay. Has tag. Why does the client have the tag? Did we not? Is it because we didn't remove it from them? The server does not have it, but the client does. It's probably because the server or the client doesn't get the tag removed from them upon death. As tag. So the client always had the tag on that time. So now I'm playing the client. Now the server has the tag. What? But the client doesn't. What the fuck is going on? Do I have this inverted? If I just invert these. Does it work? No, I have a bad understanding of this. We're checking if the person that died has the tag. Okay. So when I kill the server, I should see no. I see yes. What is going on? So I play the server, I kill the client, I should see no. I see no. Playing as a client, I should still see no when I do this. Sorry, yes, it would be a yes in that scenario. Oh, I forgot about wall running. When you forget about a gameplay mechanic you programmed. Has tag, even though I shouldn't. So, it is just an issue of the tag sticks, and it's not being removed upon death. Okay. You okay, Nicole? Oh. Right. Are you setting up right now? Okay, I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be still. Give me a second here. I might stop for now then.
Yeah, it's just because I don't have a lot of time today.
Yeah. Alright, I'll go ahead and stop now then. I just don't like leaving stuff in a broken state because it's gonna be harder to figure out later. Alright, that's gonna be the end of the stream for now. I'll be doing another stream tomorrow. But yeah, whoever's here, thanks for sticking around.